morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh wow, my hair looks crazy. Oh shoot. Sorry guys. Sorry folks. Sorry folks. Let me get Rev Mel into the chat immediately. Make my picture a little bit smaller. So let's get her on. Get her on.
Good day. Good day. Your hair looks great, Sekou.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How you doing?
So I was a little distracted because I'm watching Forex right now. Forex is basically the same as the stock market, but I just checked it and it was like right there, depending shaking down between what I had and I don't know how to say it. Basically, it was about to go across to the part where I would be green. I'd be with money, but it's snapping back now. So I was trying to get it. And now I think I missed it. But yeah, I think so. I'm gonna keep it right up here on the computer screen. So if I get quiet, that's what I'm doing. Yeah. So how you doing, Mel?
I'm good. It's a lot of activity going on in the house today. Yeah, the contractor's back doing stuff. So if you hear noise in the background, that's what that is.
All right, we go roll with it.
All is well.
I heard it that time.
You heard it that time?
Yeah, I heard that time. Okay. Yeah. So what we gonna talk about today? What we gonna talk about today?
Well, I think congratulations is in order to you for making your biggest trade yesterday.
Yeah. Where's my fireworks? Where's my fireworks? Let me find the fireworks.
Yes.
Yeah. My biggest trade yet. So I thought, well, let me not worry about what I thought. The amount that I won was $19. $19. And yeah, I mean, I was happy about that. But then I started looking at things and I noticed that, like, I don't know how to phrase this, but S&P 500 is something I've been raving about ever since I found out about it. It means that there's 500 companies, all grouped together, and they're all paying you based on what everybody's doing. Like, you can't lose, right? And so I bought 9 shares of S&P 500.
Okay.
And I was feeling it. I used to love how I would watch that ticker go up, right?
Yeah.
And so I looked at the ticker and it was $15. I was like, $15. But then I looked and I saw that I made $19 in 4 days. I was like,
wait a minute. You could buy fractional shares of the S&P 500 on Webull? Because how much is a share of the S&P 500?
S&P 500 is like $500 basically.
Yeah.
So I paid a lot. I don't know if you can buy per fractional shares, but I bought them full shares.
You bought 9 shares of the S&P 500?
When I was rolling after my DoorDash days, and I saw what was happening, I was like, "Oh, let's put."
Oh, you're talking about before. You're not talking about yesterday.
Oh no.
Oh, I was gonna say, wait a minute.
No. Yeah.
So what did you buy yesterday?
So what I did, I think Tim Sykes teaches us not to worry about what they stand for, what the acronym stands for.
Right, but yesterday didn't have anything to do with the S&P 500.
No.
Okay.
No, I was just using it as a comparable. So I made more than the S&P 500 made in X amount of time. I don't even know how many years it's been.
Okay, I got you.
I made it in 4 days. It's like crazy. And my 4 days were the weekend. I bought it on the weekend. I bought it end of the day Friday, like 4 p.m. Friday, and then I sold. It automatically sold. So Monday was a holiday. It was President's Day, and then it sold Tuesday. Boom! I was like, "What? That is crazy."
You're using the automatic
Oh
sell
yes, I
feature.
stole that from you. I stole that from you. I was like, "All right, wait a minute now."
Wait. I was listening to a previous show, and you call it the boogie
Booby
trap?
trap. Booby trap. Yes, booby trap. That's what I call it. That's what I call it. I set my booby trap up to go. Yes, yes. I put my
Ah,
booby trap up.
that makes me it's so funny.
Yeah, I could not think of what it's actually called. But I was like, I'm gonna call it booby trap. That's what I'm gonna call it. And so I set up my booby trap. That's what I did. I bought the stock end of the day, Friday, based on how it was trending. I was like, all right, I think it's gonna go up, right? And then over the weekend, it scared me a little because it was doing this, right? But then I looked for it on Tuesday morning, and it had jumped, it had gapped. So the gap is like it could be here, and then the next day you look at it, it'll be up here. I was like, oh, and then it closed me out immediately without me having to do anything because I had set a booby trap. I set a booby trap for it to cash me out.
So let me clarify for y'all what the booby trap is.
Yeah, thank you.
But first, I gotta grab this cat because the cats know when something's going on in the house and they take full advantage. So I just gotta grab Davey because he's about to go someplace he's not supposed to be.
Okay. So while she is doing that, let me try to be more clear. What I'm saying is that well, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I as clearly as I can put it. Let's let River Meadow.
Okay. So Fee asked the question. I'm going to explain two things: fractional shares, and I'm going to explain the booby trap.
Yeah, the booby trap. Booby trap is
Which I think that should be the new name officially.
The booby trap. The booby trap. That's what I call it. That's what I call it.
Can we just have that be the official term?
That's the official term. Under the house of Sekou and I'm Melissa.
So fractional shares are where you can buy less than a full share of a stock. So let's say, for example, S&P 500, right? The S&P 500, let's say, is $500 a share. Right.
Yeah, right.
So you want to be in it though, right? But you
want to be
right now. You can't spend $500. So there's platforms like Cash App. That's the one I'm familiar with. On Cash App, you can buy fractional shares.
Yes,
so
you can
buy less
S&P 500 on Cash App. Yes,
on Cash App. So you could buy less than a full share. So you're not spending $500.
Right.
You're spending whatever it is. You could spend $5.
Right.
You would have a fractional share of that stock.
And let me point out that you start getting savings. You start getting things. You start getting the winnings of having the S&P 500 immediately. Immediately, like they don't make you wait until you have $500 in. They'll start paying you after $1 in. They'll pay you. I was like, what?
Yeah. So you'll get the dividend. You'll get the dividend, regardless if you have a full share or fractional shares.
Right.
You'll get to vote. Like when they have their annual meetings, you get to vote. They send you information.
I was like, they didn't send it to me? They send it to me on purpose? Yes. I never did it, but I was impressed they offered it to me. Yeah.
So Fee you could do it on Robinhood as well, Cash App and Webull. Yes, on Webull too, right? We do buy fractional shares on Webull. So that's one.
Yes. And just to point out,
Mm-hmm.
Cash App, the dividend, they don't pay you dividend. Like Cash App keeps your dividend. So don't go with Cash App if you're going to use a dividend, which you should be using. You need to go with Robinhood or Webull or something else other than Cash App.
So what does Cash App do with the dividend? Do you know?
I don't know. I think they keep it. I remember there was this big brouhaha about Cash App, but I think that's part of why. I'm not really
Okay.
sure, but I was trying to figure it out. But I got when I first put a dollar on my first dollar on investing, right, and I got money back. And I was like, I got money back, and I'm talking about like I got like $5 in. I got I got money back, and I was like, wow, that's really dope. But then I got into dividends and putting dividends back in, putting them
Mhm.
back in, let them grow for themselves. But I couldn't do that on Cash
Cash
App.
App.
I
Right.
looked it up, and so I had to get off of Cash App
Yeah.
and move myself to another brokerage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason why that's important, and I learned this from you, Sekou,
Okay.
is you want to put your dividend back into the stock because it builds. If you have fractional shares, it will increase your fractional share. And depending on how much the dividend is, at the end of the year, you could be taxed for that because it's considered income.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the amount is, but you could be taxed for it.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that your dividend, and there's a word for it, where it just automatically goes back into your portfolio for
Yeah.
that
It's
stock.
a cool word too. Something like
Yeah, I can't remember what it is.
uh yeah, I
So let's
can't.
talk about the booby trap. What the booby trap is that you can set you can set the program, whatever you're in, Webull, whatever.
Right.
Because most of the platforms have this option. You
Yeah.
can set it so that when your stock reaches a certain amount. So let's say you buy a stock for $2
Right.
and you're like, okay, I want when it goes up to 2.50
5 cents. Yeah. Five.
for
Yeah.
it to sell. But
Yeah.
I don't want to be watching it
Right.
all day to
Right.
see
Because
when it
none of us
goes.
have time for that. None of us have time for that.
No.
Right.
And so this is how I just stumbled upon it. I had
She
no
did.
idea what I
Yeah.
was doing.
And I was like, what? You better call me, girl. You better call me. Explain this to me. I did. I did.
I had no idea. So this thing that said automatic something. I was like, huh, I wonder what this is. And
Yep.
I just was like, oh, wait, can I set it so that when this stock reaches this number, it will just automatically sell it for me? And so I
Yes.
said, I'm just going to test it out. And that's what I did. And it reached that number and it automatically sold the stock for me. I wasn't on my phone.
Automatically.
I wasn't watching. It
Right.
just did it automatically.
Automatically.
Yes.
Automatically. And that's what I just did. That's what I just did. So the booby trap for for my recent one went and sold itself without me even looking. When I looked at my account, it had already sold. It already sold money. It had already been transferred, and I love that ease. I love that
Yes.
ease. It takes out away from all the want to catch it, want to make sure I get you. It takes it all away.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
And the interesting thing is once it sold it, then it's the psychological thing that happens.
yeah,
Because psychologically, I was like, dang, I should have put it in for higher
yeah,
because it was still going up,
yes,
right? But
yes,
I had already put in to sell it at this level.
right,
So that's the psychological part of it.
yes. And I'm gonna admit that my my one that I did for the one I was talking about, my biggest goal, my $19, right?
Hmm.
That $19 went up to it sold for $70, 70 cents, 70 cents, but it went up to 90. It went up to 90, and I was like, whoa! I, what? But you have to be mindful to be grateful for whatever money you got on the plus side. You got to be
Yes.
grateful for whatever money you get
Yes.
because yeah, you could kick yourself over not getting more, but be happy that you got some at all. And
Yeah,
just
I was happy.
yeah,
I was happy, but for a couple of seconds, I was like, "Dang it!"
yeah,
And
right,
then I thought about buying it again,
yeah,
and then selling it again.
yeah.
Break the 70 verse what? Break the
I think she means break it down because I keep getting it mixed up. So what I'm saying is, I bought it like I remember these numbers are a little fuzzy to me because I'm looking at stuff in terms of bar charts and
Mhm.
candlesticks instead of by numbers. So I bought it at about let's say 61, and then I set the booby trap for I don't know, let's say 65, right? I'm saying that I made that small amount. That
Mhm.
small amount ended up being $19 though, $19, so, which I'm very happy about. But then it kept going and going, going,
Yes.
going up and up and up. But I was happy I got mine. I stepped away from it. I didn't try to go back in. I was like happy I got mine. I'm out. I'm out.
Right, because
'Cause-
just as easily as it's going up,
yeah.
it could also go down.
Exactly. Exactly. And those are the things you have to teach yourself. Those things you got to teach yourself because all your stuff is going to come up. All your stuff to do with money is going to come up. It's going to come up. Like
Yes.
you think you don't got anything to do with money? It's in there. It's in there. It's going to come up when you're trying to bet. So you got to get that stuff under control.
Yes, yes. And for me, the best way to get it under control is one to practice, and
Yep.
two, like I give people sometimes think this is just so bizarre, but I do set timers for myself to be like in a funk about things.
Really.
So yes, I do.
Wow.
So not so much in the stock space,
Mhm.
but when I sold a stock, I bought a stock and it was just like crashing. And so I'm fine with waiting. So
Mm.
I'll just wait,
Right.
right, to see what it's going to do. And I'll wait for weeks. Right? I'll just keep checking and it's just going down, 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 down. So I have two open positions like that where I bought the stock. My intention was to trade it right away, but it went down. And so I was like, I'm just going to hold it. Now, Tim Sykes would said, no, sell it,
Yeah.
right? He would say, sell it. Even though I want to lose money, sell it. But I'm like, no, I'm not going to lose money.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold it. So I don't know how that translates into my relationship with money, but I'm sure there is some translation there. And I only allowed myself like 10 seconds to feel funky about it going down. I'm like, you
Yeah.
got 10 seconds to feel funky about this, and then
Right.
you need to let it go
Mhm.
because you're learning and it's all good.
Right.
And so,
Yeah.
because otherwise you'll be on a seesaw of
Yeah.
emotions
All the time. All the
all
time.
the time. Nobody needs that in their life.
No, no, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
No.
But let me tell you something important about Tim Sykes. The important thing about Tim Sykes, for those of you that are watching, is the guy that we are taking our advice from. And he's one of many teachers out there. But the reason I like him is he talks about each of the people trying to do stocks at the same time. Let's say there's 10 people in the room. Of those 10 people, how many of them do stocks the same way?
None of them.
None of them. None of them. None of them. None of them. Like you got to really drink it in now. We all gonna do it different. We all
Yes.
gonna do it different. Where Mel and I are already doing it different. Like it's going different. I mean, she helped me out while using the booby traps. Right? But it helped me out so much, so much. And so everyone's going to do it different. And that's where all your stuff comes up. That's where all your
Yeah.
stuff comes up. So you got to get rid of all your stuff and get zen and get quiet and do it.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. As Fee put up here, 19 is huge.
Yes. Yes. I
Yes.
mean, because you have to understand, people, where my where my where my nugget was. My nugget was about about 20 cents. 20 cents. 20 cents. I was doing 20 cents, little bit, but I was going positive every time though. I was getting
Mhm.
positive 10, 20 cents, 19 cents, 18 cents, 16 cents. But to go from that to $20, like what? And to still be green? What? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is a huge win. That's a huge win. Yeah.
So my huge, let me see, my most huge win was $12.
Yeah.
And that was one of the ones.
Listen, wait, hold on. She told me 12. I was like, 12? Well, now mind you, I'm still working on my 2 cents. I'm working on my 2 cents. I was like, don't get distracted, say cool. Don't get distracted. Stays in, stays in. I was like, she learned from me. Nope, stays in, stays in, stays in. What? I was like, oh my goodness. Wow. Oh man.
$12. And it was one of the ones that I bought. And then it went down immediately. It was
Yeah.
like it was as it felt like it was waiting for me to buy it so it could go down. That's how like I took it so personal, right?
Wow,
I was
yeah.
like, "Dad, you're gonna go down. I just bought you."
Yeah,
And
right.
I was like, "Fine. I'm just gonna hold on to you then." And I kept checking and checking and checking and checking,
Mhm.
right?
Before you
And
knew
then
about the movie trips.
before I knew about the booby trap, I kept checking.
Yeah.
And maybe a week went by, and then I saw it started to go up. And I was like, "Ooh,
Mm,
it's going up."
yeah.
And then it's that temptation, it's that thing where I wonder how far it'll go.
Yes, I know. That psychology starts playing. Right.
So then I said, "You have to pick a number in your mind.
Right.
And when it reaches that number, you sell."
Right. That's a good idea.
And that's what I did. I said, "If it reaches this number, I'm gonna sell." And it did. I sold it and it kept going up.
What?
It kept going up. It was one of those stocks that Tim Sykes was talking about. Like
Right.
he sends out these daily texts for the stocks to watch, or he's recommending. And I picked one of them. And there's no science to the ones that I pick either. If if I like the name, how it sounds,
Yeah.
it's it's
Brand
the
new car.
same way that I pick teams.
Right.
If they have a purple uniform,
Yeah,
I
right.
like them, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like that's how scientific it gets.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I just picked one that I like the name of, the initials of, and that just happened to be one of the ones that just took off on this particular day.
Right.
But I just had to say I had to be at peace
Yeah. You have to
about
be at
it.
peace. You have to be at peace. That's the biggest one that's hard to be at peace about. The biggest one is that what you talked about. Letting it go after you already sold and watching it still go and go and go. Like you've got to release that. You got to
Yeah.
release that. That's a hard one to let go of, but you've got to release it and be happy
Yes.
with your plus sign, whatever it is. Whatever it is, you got your plus sign. That's it. That's
Yep.
it.
That's it. That's it. And we can apply all of this to life.
A
That's
life.
what I love so much
Right. Yeah.
about all of this is
Right.
that everything that we learn we can apply to other areas of our lives, right? Just accept where you are
Right.
right now. Just
Right.
accept it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Accept that you bought or sold the stock. Just accept it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's other alternatives. You could go drive yourself crazy and
Yeah.
and doubt yourself and
Yes.
do that woulda, coulda, shoulda thing. And
Yes.
that's
Yes.
just an energy drain.
Right. Right. As an energy drain. And then what people do, not what we do, but what people do is they change teachers. Like they be like, all right, that's enough for Tim Sykes. I'm gonna go learn it from so and so. That's enough for so and so. I'm gonna go learn it
Mm,
from so and so. That's enough for that so and so. So what happens is you're trading cycles. You're trading things, and so Any one of them could help you, but not all at the same time. Not all at the same time.
Mm.
There's one woman I wish I had discovered before I discovered Tim Sykes. The one I told you about, Rev Mel. Like this
Mhm.
woman was like, she is doing stuff. I mean, she's doing lines. And I was like, lines? You doing, well, how are you doing it with lines? But it's a beautiful thing. And she's doing it with lines. I was like, I wish I had got on that one. Let's see if I start studying her now. If I start studying her now, I'm gonna throw off the learnings I'm gotten from Tim Sykes, and I've got
Mhm.
to go full steam ahead with Tim Sykes and learn and learn and learn and learn and learn and learn
Mhm.
before I can break out and start doing my own thing. But
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
gotta stick to someone, one
Yeah.
person,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's our our you know
Well, the
our
one person I'm sticking to is Sekou Wright.
yeah. And I'm sticking to Tim Sykes. I'm sticking to Tim Sykes. Like I'm gonna stick to him. And I talked to one of his guys yesterday. Well, one recently. I interviewed one of his guys, and I just I just put it out there on I think Twitter. I was like, let me send a tweet, and they got back to me. I was like, he,
Oh, that's dope.
he said yes, and he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. And so I did this interview with him. I was so nervous. I got everything wrong, but anyway, I was learned so much from him. I learned something. His name's David. I learned so much from David, and the big thing was that that you can trade pre-market. Pre-market, for those of you that don't know, means that the stock market is closed. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. Stock market is closed, right? 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. Stock market's closed, right? But you can trade while it's still closed. I was
Mm.
like, what? And I was like, then I tried to talk myself out of it. I was like, oh, that's for people who are way up there. People who are way up there. But it's the same thing as the S&P 500. As soon as you get in, you start reaping the benefits. Like
Mm.
you don't have to have hundreds of $1,000. You can have $1 in. And then
Mhm.
I was like, well, wait a minute now. So if I can get out over the weekend, then I can just get out. I could just set as long as my boot trap set up, it'll come out anyway. I was like, that's 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 so beautiful to me. That's so beautiful to me.
So what you're saying
Yeah,
is when
thank
the
you,
market is closed,
thank you.
I want to make sure I got it. When the
Okay,
market is closed,
the market is closed. Yes,
you are still able to buy and sell.
yes, you are still able to buy. And I was like, this can't be real.
But
Can't
the
be real.
transaction doesn't happen until the market opens.
It happens. It happens on the weekend.
So the transaction still happens when the market is closed.
Yes,
Really?
yes. So this is what I did. So I used Webull, right?
Mhm.
And I saw that part of the map was grayed out. I realized, okay, that's when the market's closed. This is showing me what's happening while it's closed, right? But then I put in the 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 booby trap. I put in the booby trap, and the booby trap went through on a Saturday. And I was like, what? It sold itself on the Saturday because it hit my high figure.
Wow.
And I was like, oh man, so that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the weekend hustle, weekend hustle, where I'm buying a stock, a stock Friday, end of the account Friday, and selling it over the weekend. That's it. That's it. That's what I'm focusing on. That's what I'm focusing on.
You know, this this is so uh
What you got? Yeah, yeah.
okay. I'm just gonna say this.
Now you know we got time now. Get it out.
Oh God. All right. I'll put a pin in it. I'm gonna put a note for us to come back to this.
Oh, you want to remember it?
I'm gonna write a note for myself.
Okay, well, we're gonna come back with a surprise.
So tune in next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Tune in. Tune in. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it.
But let's mention this before you go. B, put this in.
Did you know you can still play the stock game even when the market's closed? Yes. And check out Seiku's free trading this Saturday. Yes. Yes, I did a podcast. We're just gonna blow the time. So I did a podcast this week. I was like, I'm gonna teach y'all. I'm gonna give y'all the 411. And so I'm doing a class open to everyone, free Saturday at 1 p.m. And I'm giving out. I'm just giving abundantly.
Okay. So
yeah.
people can direct message you on your social media, Facebook.
Yeah, you can just come.
Where are you going to do the training? On Facebook? Or
yeah, do it like this. I don't know.
So you're going to get on StreamYard. You're going to broadcast it on all your platforms. Okay.
Yeah. That's the same way.
Wherever people are tuned in now.
Yes. Yes.
That's where it will be.
Yes. That's where it will be. Okay.
All right.
All right, folks. Thanks for pulling that, Mel. And I will see you guys later. Don't forget to tune in Wednesday because I don't know what the surprise is either. So don't forget to tune in Wednesday. All right. See you guys later.